you. So, welcome. Thank you guys for showing up and doing yoga with me. So, I was talking to Taylor last night, and I took a class yesterday, and I was like, I want to teach completely differently than I've ever taught. So I am gonna teach something pretty different and just see how it goes. So you guys are my guinea pigs. I'll probably stick to some stuff that I normally do, but what else is this for? So, for today's class, I think during quarantine that it's been easy to fall into old habits of thought and getting in your head and really just falling into old habits. And I think it's easy to tell yourself that you're not worth changing that for. So I'm going to encourage everyone today throughout class to pick a loved one in their life, and move and think from a place where you would want them to come from. And so, like, if I think about my mom, am I going to want her to think the way that I think about myself or move my body? And so if you find some yummy pose that you just want to stay in it. And like yesterday I took a class and it was an hour long and I did 30 minutes of it, and then I found a place on my stomach and I was like, this is comfortable. So I stayed there for 30 minutes. And so, like, do that. And if you just want to leave this on and like visualize yourself doing it, totally cool. But yeah, listen to your body and treat yourself as you would want someone that you love to treat themselves. So, all that said, you guys are still here. So let's start in an easy seat. So whatever that means for you. So maybe like a little crisscross applesauce, like preschool. You can feel free to extend one leg. That tilts your pelvis forward and makes for a nice long spine. Feel free to use a block or a blanket underneath you. Whatever feels good. Give you a couple of moments just to get any wiggles out. And then throughout this quarantine, I've liked to place my palms on my thighs. But if you want a little more vulnerability and surrender, feel free to allow your palms to face up, or we'll face them down. Take a couple of shoulder rolls away from the ears. And then slowly allow the shoulders to melt down the spine and let them soften, and let the eyes close or take a soft gaze. And then notice if you're holding any unnecessary tension. See if you can send intention there. See if you can send breath there. And begin to let it all go. And if you'd like to start noticing the breath, just let it be subtle, no forcing, no changing. Or maybe you sense the heartbeat or any other energetic things happening in your body. It doesn't have to be the breath. But find somewhere to go inside of you. And throughout this class, I know it's going to be super easy to want to just like not be here, because live video yoga has been pretty hard, but try to at least stay with something. It doesn't have to be my movement. It doesn't even have to be movement at all, but try to just stick with a practice for yourself. And from here, if you feel comfortable focusing on the breath, maybe you begin to slow it down a little more and allow the exhales to be a little bit longer than the inhales. Just a couple more moments here. We'll get moving in a second. Try to come to that intention. Find that person in your head that if you try to start forcing anything or not listening to your body, that person can remind you to really listen and love your body, your mind, yourself. And all together, we'll take a big inhale, fill all the way up. And then sigh it out. One more inhale, fill up. And exhale, let it all go. So from here, we're going to start a little flowy movement. But if at any point you want to just stick with something because it feels good, do it. So we'll extend, I'm going to try to mirror you guys for now, and then that'll probably change. So we'll extend our right foot in front of us and place our left foot on our inner thigh for Janu Shirsasana. So feel free to wiggle around and square off the hips. And then on our inhale, we'll fill all the way up, sweep your arms overhead, take up so much space. And then on the exhale, we'll fold it all the way forward. And then on the inhale, we'll sweep the arms through the legs, plant the right hand by the right knee, or the left hand by the left knee, and inhale your right arm up and overhead for Stargate. Exhale all the way back down. So repeating that. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, fold over your leg. Inhale, place the left hand down, sweep up. Exhale, release. Making this more of a consistent movement. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, really release. It doesn't have to be far down. It's whatever feels good this morning. Inhale all the way up. Lengthen the right side of your body. Exhale down. Continue this twice more or whatever you feel on your own breath. And take your time, whatever rhythm you're going at, but slowly make your way back to center. Take one breath just to notice, maybe close your eyes. And then we'll change out the sides, extending the left leg long in front. Right foot comes to the inner thigh. Again, maybe give a little wiggle, and we'll sweep our arms up, really take up space. Feel all of it. And exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale, plant the right hand, sweep the left arm up, reach through the left side, exhale all the way down. I know you guys are crushing it. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Let this flow. Inhale, back up and over. Exhale, down. Take 2 more rounds with your breath. If something feels super yummy or super tight and sticky, feel free to stay with it. Allowing that space to come into the body. Giving yourself grace, knowing that our body will feel different every day, in the morning, at night. And slowly take your time, make your way back to center, and pause just to notice. Maybe the sides are different, maybe they aren't, and either are totally okay. And then we'll cross through our ankles. Yay, Gloria! We'll cross through our ankles and make our way into a tabletop shape. Stacking your shoulders on top of your wrists and your hips on top of your knees. And then from here, back of the neck long, we'll fill all the way up. And on our exhale, we'll press down through our hands, round through our spine, belly button to spine for cat. And inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, press the wrists back toward the knees to bring the heart through. And exhale, round. Inhale, drop the belly. Really bring isometrically, pull the wrist toward the knees. And exhale, round. So from here, continuing this movement with your breath. Maybe you stick with this. Maybe you get a little groovy, funky with it, and you let your hips sink back and you go side to side and you really explore these shapes. So let yourself be creative in this time. This is your space to move. So keep moving and feeling. Take 2 more rounds of breath wherever you're at. And then gently make your way back into a neutral shape. We'll come into bird dog. So as always, I think most of you watching are pretty avid movers, but if at any point in this shape you want to just stop and hang out there, totally cool. There's no superior shape. So extending the right toes back to tap, bring that leg to a hover, and really imagine as if you have a zipper. We'll zip up the lower core and start shooting out the energy from the right heel. So if this feels great, we'll stay here, or maybe we lengthen the left arm alongside the ear. Keep lifting up through the inner core. Feel that opposition, feel the reach and the energy from the fingertips all the way up through the heel, and hold for 1 more breath. Allow yourself to be in this stillness and know that we will move on. And on an inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release all the way down. 1 breath to notice. And extending the left toes back to tap. Maybe we lengthen and lift. Zipping up through the lower core, reaching out through the right fingertips. Really grow long. Feel the energy pulling in both directions. Back of the neck long so we're not cranking it up or we're not dropping it down. 1 long line in the spine, and hold for 1 more breath. Be present here. Allow yourself to just be. And inhale, grow long. And exhale, release all the way down. A moment to notice. So from here, you can either do the same thing or we can add on a little bit. So maybe we reach our arms out. Left arm goes long, right leg goes long. We inhale, lengthen. And we exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release all the way back down to tabletop. Inhale, extend long. Right arm goes long, left leg goes long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to release all the way down. We'll do it again. Left arm lengthens, right leg goes back. Exhale, knee to nose. Really let yourself feel all of this breath. Inhale to grow. Exhale to release. Right arm, left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Release. So do 2 more rounds of this, or just pause and listen to the breath, to the body. And then meet back in a neutral tabletop. And wherever you're at, slowly make your way back. Feel free to take out any organic movements, any little jiggles you want to take. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog. So placing the hands, 1 hand print, a half a hand print, whatever feels good, in front of where your hands were. I like to angle my fingertips out to the corners. It feels good on my shoulders, but everyone's body is different, so just play with it. And then we're going to press our hands forward, tuck our toes, send our hips back, and really, really, really press here. and then opening out as if you're ripping your hands apart isometrically to broaden the shoulders, roll the inner elbows forward, and then press all the way up. Keep that engagement of the hands, of the arms, as you send your hips high. So your knees don't need to straighten, your knees can bend, your heels can lift. The most important part is to have a nice long lengthened spine. So maybe you pedal it out here. Make this movement, make this shape your own. And then slowly make your way to stillness, settling the heels, or just settling the legs in general. And on an inhale, we'll rise on the heels, on the toes, bend the knees, gaze forward, and tiptoe, keep the knees bent all the way into a forward fold. So if you're feeling super open already, feel free to straighten the legs, or keep a generous bend in the knees, and then take whatever variation of forward fold you feel called to this morning. So maybe you grab opposite elbows, maybe you feel like putting your hands under your feet, maybe you just want to hang there, maybe you have a block in front of you and you're staying lifted in the core, whatever feels good. But shake the head no, shake it yes. Maybe even close the eyes and drop in again. Noticing the difference between the still moments and then the flowing moments. Take one more breath and release any grip you have. And from here, we're going to take a couple of half lifts. So just to make sure we're not lifting from our lower back, we're going to really root down through our feet as if we could grow roots all the way through the ground so that the back of the legs fire up. So feel everything fire up and allow that inhale to bring you up, half lift. Exhale, fold, release. Again, press down through the mat, inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more, press down, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold it all the way forward. This time, place the hands on the hips, squeeze the elbows together. Press down through the feet in the same way, and then rise all the way up to standing flat back. Nice. All right, so making sure the feet are hips distance apart, maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls, just so we feel all big and expansive standing. And then from here, we're going to do a little dancey thing. So I'll face you guys. So we're just going to play with tactile touch everything, because I feel like a lot of the times that's left out. And so we're just going to drop side to side. So let the knees be lazy and bend. And one elbow may bend as you go from side to side. Again, a lot of you probably know this type of movement. So if you want to close your eyes and really feel the texture of your pants, of your legs, let yourself just be here for a moment. And then if this already feels great and you have a super safe spine, maybe you drop it all the way around. Keep your hands touching and keep moving. Keeping this going. Beautiful. And take 2 more full breaths. And slowly slow this movement down. Come back to Tadasana, the front of the mat. Take just one moment to find that stillness. And then on an inhale, we'll sweep the arms overhead. Again, maybe imagine you're painting the ceiling and the wall is your favorite color. And exhale, fold it all the way forward, release. On an inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back. Maybe we hold in this plank for 2 breaths. Or maybe we drop the knees. Same thing, same engagement. One more breath. And then hugging the elbows into the body, lower all the way down onto your belly. So, moving our hands out a little bit wider than our shoulders so they're not under us. We're going to press down through the tops of our feet, press down through the pelvis, and press down through the forehead so that when we lift, the back of the neck stays long. So press down through all three of those things, roll the shoulder heads away from the mat, and then lift up. Keep the back of the neck in the same place. Just a little baby cobra. And exhale, release forehead to mat. Allow one breath to come into the body. And again, same thing. Press down to the tops of the feet, down through the pelvis, roll the shoulder heads away, and lift up. Maybe the hands come to a hover. One more sip of air. And exhale down. We're going to add a little flow onto this movement. So just take a breath here to pause. And on the inhale, we'll press down and baby cobra. Maybe the hands come to a hover. On the exhale, plant the hands, send the hips back, child's pose. On the inhale, ripple through the spine all the way forward. And then on the exhale, hug the elbows in, lower all the way down. Inhale, we rise, baby cobra. Exhale, plant the hands, send the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, ripple through, feel all the energy. On the exhale, release, elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, ripple. Exhale down. Take 2 more rounds or whatever you're feeling of this movement without all my voice. And then we'll meet all together on our bellies. And using your hands, sending your hips back through a tabletop and making your way into downward facing dog. Take one breath here just to meet up. And on an inhale, rise on the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward, and travel to your hands. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, let it all go. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Stay standing. Exhale, hands at heart. Take one full sun breath. Stay standing. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, hands at heart. Beautiful. And we'll start sun sea variations. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Feel all the space and exhale, release, hands at heart all the way down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step just the left foot back. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Press down through the right heel, down through the top of the left foot. Squeeze the inner thighs, and then inhale the arms up and overhead, making sure we're not dumping into the low back by zipping up that lower core and feeling that lengthening of the torso, all while allowing the space to still come in. So arms can stay overhead, shoulders can melt down the back. And find a place in front of you just to be for one more breath. On an inhale, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, frame the foot, tuck the back toes, and cute, quirky, awkward ways, bring it all the way forward, release. On an inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, bend the knees, step the right foot back, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, Press down through that left heel, down to the top of the right foot. Squeeze the inner thighs together, and then lift up. Keep lengthening through the torso, lengthening through the crown. So finding the strength and stability, all while finding the softness of it. Find a place to focus and intention to come back to. One more breath. On an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, frame the foot, tuck the back toes, and make your way into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, release. Ground down through the feet. Sweep the arms to the side, standing. Exhale, stay standing, hands at heart. Let's place the hands over the heart just for a couple of breaths. Feeling the heartbeat, feeling that life force running through us. Close the eyes. And slowly flutter them open, and we'll continue this movement just a little bit quicker. So on an inhale, sweep the arms alongside the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, ground down and rise up. Exhale, frame the foot, tuck the back toes, bring it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step the right foot back, ground down, rise up, inhale. Exhale, frame the foot, tuck the back toes, bring it forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, ground down, rise up. Exhale, hands at heart. Take this one more round with your own breath. Folding it forward, as long as you're lunging on both sides. Doesn't really matter how you do it. Whenever you feel complete with this, make your way back to Tadasana. And just because I feel like the toes don't get enough attention, we're just going to play with it at the top of the mat for a moment. So, placing your hands at your heart or wherever you want to. We're just going to do little bends, little plies, and then roll through the toes. So trying to keep them parallel and coming to standing. Really keep that core engaged. Just little sink backs and rocks all the way forward. So find your drishti, find your focus in front of you. Your ankles might pop and crack. It's totally okay as long as there's no sharp shooting pain. Always stay away from that. Take 2 more rocks. I find that this really helps me find my focus. And then meet in a standing shape. And then we're going to inhale, sink our hips back and sweep our arms forward. So really in this chair, think back more than down. So we don't have to stack our knees on top of our ankles, but that's what we're aiming to do. So really reach forward, feel the pull, just like we did in Bird Dog, of that reach forward and the reach back. It's that opposition. So maybe sink our hips a little deeper. And maybe we stay here, or maybe on the inhale we lengthen, and on the exhale we sweep the arms alongside the body, squeeze the shoulder blades. Really hug in through those front ribs. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep and squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Take one more. And inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands at heart. So from here, we're going to start a Sun B Warrior 2 kind of flow. So we're going to start from downward facing dog. If you know you don't want to go through a whole chaturanga vinyasa, just go ahead and make your way to down dog. Or maybe we inhale, our arms up overhead. Exhale, fold, release. And inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Take whatever chaturanga you want to this morning. Little back bend, and then send it back, down dog. Take a breath here. Settle in. And from here, we'll inhale the right leg high. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. And step the foot through. Frame the foot. For before we lift up, we're going to do the same thing we did when the knee was bent. Feel free to bend the knee. Just drive through the right heel. Keep lifting up through the back of the left thigh. Squeeze the inner thighs, and then bring the hands to a hover so the torso lifts up. And then we'll rise all the way up. Drop the shoulders down and sink in. A lot of the times, this back knee has the tendency to just want to give out. So really keep lifting. The knee doesn't have to straighten, but keep lifting. And find a place to just be. I'm going to flip around. One more inhale, lengthen. And exhale, open out, warrior 2. So, making sure the right knee isn't rolling in. The left toes face alongside the mat, right toes face the short side. And we're opening and we're ripping the mat apart. Our arms are coming into a T and we're pressing down. We're engaging just as much as we would the legs. And maybe gaze over the right fingertips. Keep using that outer hip of the right side to keep spiraling and open. On an inhale, flip the front palm and tip it all the way back, reversing your warrior piece. Hold for one breath. And on an inhale, take it all the way up, straighten the front leg, coming into triangle. So pitching, pitching, pitching over the right toes as much as we can, keeping the chest flat in front of us, and then opening up, stacking the arms on top of one another, maybe even pressing our right hand into our shin or our thigh to spiral open. So both sides of the body should be long here. So if you don't feel the left side working, probably not the right shape. So we're not looking to be here, we're really looking to expand and lengthen. And bend slightly into the right knee, drive through the heel, inhale all the way up, peaceful triangle. And exhale, cartwheel the hands, take your time, and either flow through a chaturanga or maybe just meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful. On your next inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Step it through. Press down through the left heel. Squeeze the inner thighs and hover the torso. And then sweep all the way up. Taking those moments to really make those little micro changes that feel totally different as you make them in the shape. Melt down. Feel the strength and the softness all at once. Keep lifting up through that right thigh. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open out, warrior 2. Own that strength. Make sure the left knee isn't rotating in. Right toes face the long side, left toes face the short side. Rip the mat apart. Bend into the left knee. Open the arms. Gaze over the left fingertips. On your next inhale, flip the front palm, tip it all the way back. One full breath in. Feel the space and how the breath changes as you come into this lateral bend. Inhale all the way up, straighten the front leg. Tip all the way over, keeping the chest facing forward, and then open out. Feel the space, the length on both sides of the body. Reach. Remember the breath. Gazing up at the right fingertips or right out in front of you or down, wherever you want to look. Press into the left heel. Inhale all the way up. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, flow through chaturanga, or just make your way into downward facing dog. And then once we're there, we're going to flow through this twice more, a little bit quicker. So on the inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose, step it through. Root down and inhale all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open it out, left toes face out, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, tip it all the way back. Exhale, triangle, straighten the front leg. Inhale, reverse the triangle. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, chaturanga, or make your way into down dog. On your next inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through, square off the hips, and inhale, rise up. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, tip it all the way back. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, cartwheel the hands. Step it back, chaturanga, or down dog. We'll do one more round and then we're chilling from there. You guys are all crushing it. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Step it through. Squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, tip it back. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, peaceful triangle. Exhale, cartwheel. Feel free to still stay crazy and do tons of chaturangas. Last one. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose, step it through. Root down, feel that strength. Lift up on your inhale. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, tip it back. Exhale, straighten the front leg, triangle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga, down dog. And all together, just take one breath here. And then maybe flutter your lips, or just make a weird noise, and let it all go. And on an inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward, travel to your hands. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at heart. So facing the front of your mat, wherever you're at, we're going to sink down into Malasana. So as we make our way down, keeping our hands at heart, really the entire time keep thinking about spiraling open so that the arms don't have to do as much work and the chest can come through. So placing your hands at heart, opening your feet facing the corners of your mat. Mine are kind of off the mat a little bit, but find a good stance for you, wider than hips distance for sure. And then keep the chest open as we sink all the way down. We can use our elbows to bring our chest forward, but really keep using the outer thighs to rotate your hips open. So from here, if you have an arm balance that you're working on, go ahead and do that. Or maybe we stay here. Maybe we place the left hand on the outside of the foot and inhale, not the outside of the foot, in front of the foot. And inhale, open up to the right. A little twisting, and come all the way back to center. And place the right hand down, twist and open up to the left. Bring it all the way back to center. Sink the hips all the way down. Bring the booty to the mat. We'll extend the feet out in front of us, so if the legs don't fully straighten, that's totally okay. Oh, this thing probably makes me not. And we're back. So coming into a seated forward fold, maybe moving any of that cushy part from underneath you. Feel free to even place a blanket to give you a little bit of a lift. And then maybe this feels super amazing, and we stay here, or maybe we scoop the arms up, and we release into a forward fold. And close the eyes here, and just start to let it all go. And if we're already making to-do lists, or we're like, wow, watching a yoga class off of my phone is super weird. It is. But just try to be present in this moment. Thank yourself for showing up, for taking care of your body. Take one more breath here. And slowly roll all the way up. Zombie your arms and roll all the way through the spine. And hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. You deserve it. Maybe give your arms a little rub. Really give yourself some self-love. Maybe rock side to side, self-massage. And then extending the arms long into a T beside you, we'll drop the knees to the right. Keeping the shoulders close, if not on the mat. Maybe gaze over the left fingertips. And then on an inhale, slightly engage the core, bring it all the way back to center, tip it all the way to the left, gaze over to the right. If you're holding any unnecessary tension, find a visualization, breath, something just to allow it to release, even if it's just a little bit. And bring your knees all the way back to center. And from here, take 4 or 5 breaths just to make any crazy movements. They can be yoga shapes. They can absolutely not be yoga shapes. You can flail around. But take time just to get out any final things you want before coming into Shavasana. Oh, thank you. And slowly take your time, but make your way into Shavasana. So maybe for you that looks like what most Shavasanas look like, where your legs are long, your arms are alongside your body. Or maybe that kind of makes your lower back hurt and you plant your feet wider or as wide as the mat and knock your knees in. Maybe you're like super energized and you want to stay seated, also totally an option, but find a place where you can truly just be and settle. I promise only for a couple more minutes. Give yourself this stillness. Close the eyes. And allow all expression to drop from the face. Let the shoulders fall into the mat. And just visualize all the way from your forehead, the crown of your head, all the way down to your toes, as if you could just melt all the way down. Really letting gravity do its job and surrendering to this moment. And if you'd like to stay in this shape, feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Or maybe begin to start deepening the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And if you're on your back, rolling to a side that you feel called to roll to right now, your first instinct. And using your top hand to press up into a seat. Making your way into a comfortable seat. We'll take a big inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at heart. One more inhale, sweep. Exhale, hands at heart. Thank you guys for practicing with me today, for sticking with it. I'm going to keep doing these on Thursdays. Who knows if it'll be the same kind of thing, but we'll see. The light within me truly, deeply honors and respects the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. You guys rock. Thank you, Helen. Thanks, Haley. Thanks, Tori. So weird. I love it. Yay. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful, what day is it? Thursday? And if you guys have any, yay! If you guys have any things that you want, message me. I'm just doing this for free, so let me know, and we can just keep moving together. Yay. One more. Thanks, Emma. You're the best. You guys, Emma convinced me to actually follow through with this, so yay, Emma. I'm going to save this for anyone who wants to watch it. Again. Cool. Mwah. Goodbye. Love you all.